And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Ooh, hope you enjoyed that lovely Brutal OC as we returned. We've returned here with the finale here of the broadcast with the second half. We are still here in the semifinals. We have Gerald and Nicoract up against ZaRDieNT and DefMars. The winner of this series advances on to the best of 5 final match against Young Yakov and Jumi. Oh boy, let's go, baby, let's go. We're jumping into our next matchup here, and game 1 is going to be once again on Crimson Research Lab. Let's go. Let's jump on in, as we do have our mirror matchup here of Terran and Protoss. Terran and Protoss versus Terran and Protoss. Here we go. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Crimson Research Lab, we have the red team. We have the Terran and Protoss duo. We have Nicoract and Gerald. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have their opponents. We have the blue team, also Protoss and Terran. It is ZaRDieNT and DefMars. Here we go. So jumping into our PvP. Sorry, our TVP, in a sense. And these pairings are a lot more experienced here. I was mentioning earlier that I was really curious to see how Cristiano and Outcry would work together, just because they hadn't competed together before. Meanwhile, ZaRDieNT and DefMars, they play a lot in 2v2 tournaments. For those who are unaware when it comes to the 2v2 scene, we have the uThermal 2v2 circuit. That's true. We had Wardy events last year as well, at the end of last year. And we also have some 3D Clan CIS tournaments, which also do host a lot of team game events on a semi-regular basis, sometimes in SE2, sometimes in StarCraft Evolution as well. So as a result, that's why we have team-ups, and that's why we have pairings like Milky Cow and Wayne, or like GG Machine and Shameless, or like DefMars and ZaRDieNT, who are pretty well practiced together. They get a lot of experience. We'll see how Gerald and Nicoract do fare. As so far we do have our initial double gas opener out of Nicoract, going for a faster factory, going for a delayed CC, so a more tech heavy start out of Nicoract. Meanwhile, we do have a gate cyber expand standard opener out of Gerald. Meanwhile, the probe scout here confirms double gas opener out of ZaRDieNT, so they're taking note, of course. It's also going to be a faster factory. So we have mirrored builds from the two Terran players, and likewise they have mirrored builds from the two Protoss players as well. So both teams are mirroring each other in terms of their build. In terms of their openers, I should say. From here, this can lead into Reactor Reaper Hellion. This can lead into early Cyclone, early Tank, early Drop play, early Banshee play. The different ways that our Terran players can approach this. Likewise, when it comes to our Protoss, we can still open up either Twilight Council, Robo, or Stargate. So we're still waiting for the tech of choice, still waiting for the direction that our players do take us in. Both Terrans should be expanding. We do have the Reprobe Scout getting an eye on the add-ons here. And you can see they're pinging, they're just trying to confirm. Do we go Reactor? Do we go Tech Lab? Ooh, the probe will not be able to confirm. The probe is hunted down. It's going to be initially Reaper Hellion. Meanwhile, back across the map, we do have the Reactor on the way from Nicoract. And we have our Tech of Choice, Stargate, from both Protoss players, from both Gerald and DefMars. Both Protoss is opening Stargate. Tech Lab's on the way from ZaRDieNT. Uh-oh. He is known for mech, I will say that. ZaRDieNT has played a lot of mech in his day. So we'll keep an eye on him. Speaking of mech, we do have, Macville accelerators. So Mass Cyclone on the way from ZaRDieNT, does dive into the main. We'll confirm the 1-1-1 opener. And we'll delay the starport. Starport is delayed, CC as well. Ooh, the Reapers are left idle. Oh, bit of a mistake here. Yeah, ZaRDieNT does mess up. Does lose both Reapers. Mass cleanup at Upstate commit as well. They will delay the CC. They do delays. Second factories in production against ZaRDieNT. He's embracing mech and going to Mass Cyclone. The Oracle is revealed. And the pressure is still on the red team to confirm. As we have Phoenixes amassing here from Gerald. Going for another gateway. Nicoract likewise is being active. They have still yet to confirm. They've still yet to get into the main. Oracle is moving out. And Nicoract is being zoned away. Being forced back. Oracle goes for the dive. Cyclone's in position. And nice defense here from ZaRDieNT. Very nice. Oh my god, getting extra hits in. Does zone away the Oracle. As they do reveal each other. Cyclone just shuts everything down. Jesus. Shuts down the Oracle, does force back the Hellions. Second Cyclone is revealed. That is a tell. Does it tell something's a little bit off? Making extra Cyclones. Likewise, going to be Bio here from Nicoract, not Mech. ZaRDieNt's rushing into a third CC before his natural's even saturated. Very greedy. So double factory into a third. Cyclone gets caught. And Gerald, he will confirm at least the third base timing. And he sees extra Cyclones. Yeah, he knows. Yeah, at this point he does know. Ooh, Phoenix goes down. Nicoract dropping as well. Is going to be a full-up Blink-based build here from both Gerald and DefMars. Again, Gerald and DefMars are kind of going for the same setup here. Same build, same composition. It's the Terran players that are diverging. With ZaRDieNt being hyper greedy and also embracing mech. Nicoract trying to be active. Throwing down extra Raxes, does get eyes on the third, won't be able to do much here. Has to pull away. Does pull out. Ooh, as the drop is getting caught. Yeah, brutal pickups here. As the medevac is very low. Does pull out. Double armory, double upgrades here from ZaRDieNt. Just gearing up. Now, when it comes to how to deal with something like with a mech composition like this, typically you want to rely on your mobility, referring to both Nicoract and Gerald, going for drop play, going for a more flexible gateway composition as well. So charge is on the way. Solid choice. Going to charge +1. And we'll see if they can collapse on the Cyclones. Oh, tank is exposed. Medevac goes down. Tank as well. Brutal pickups here. Nicoract, he's in trouble. He's hurting. He's being forced back. Workers going to be falling left and right. Gerald's coming in from behind. Oh, the stasis! Stasis goes off as well. Gerald, he cannot help. He cannot support. The natural ace is going to go down. Brutal pickoff. Ay. Can he get a kill? He can. And Nicoract with that is down to a 1 base economy. Down to 1 base. Ooh, Oracle goes down as well. And Nicoract, he's out of this. He's okay. He still has a standing army. Nice stasis. Stasis does go off on the Cyclones. That will help. Nicoract, he still has a standing army. But there's so much pressure on the red team now. Now, thankfully, of course, Gerald, he can feed Nicoract and give him some resources. But that was a brutal loss. Again, they were just caught out of position. Nice catch here on the Cyclones. Does lock him down. Okay, that is something. Cyclone does fall. Nicoract trying to expand. Dark Shrine on the way for Gerald. But coming into this, DefMars and ZaRDieNt, they're in a very strong position. They're both on 3 bases. Now getting a 4th. And Nicoract's on 1. he's on a 1 base setup. Ay. Gerald moving out. Again, right now it's on Gerald to make something happen, to try to make up for the losses of Nicoract. Knocks down the wall. Oh, another stasis goes. Oh god, another stasis goes off. You have DefMars coming in from behind. Oh, but who catches who? Charge is done. DefMars building out some stalkers. Nice catch here from Gerald. Very nice catch. At the same time, here comes the Bio Army. Remember, Nicoract has been building up his forces. He still has a standing army. Doesn't have an economy. Can't really sustain losses, but has an army nonetheless. And it's go time. At this point, we gotta send it. Face up a couple of zealots. Tanks are exposed. Nice pickup. Nicoract, he pulls away. Meanwhile, this position is very heavily fortified. We have 5-6 tanks. Scan reveals that. Yeah, there's no pushing into this. They end up pinging the bases here of the Protoss. Again, they recognize that they cannot break the third base of ZaRDieNt. Or are they going for it anyway? Okay. Bold move. Okay, I prefer this. they're rotating over, away from the wall of tanks. This is where ZaRDieNT is nowhere to be found. It's gonna be a 1v2. We have Gerald Nicoract moving in, and DefMars is on his own. Where's the Terran? Where's the mech? Out of position. There's ZaRDieNT. He's trying to rotate over. He does have the high ground. Zell's gonna be charging in. They tank those shots. Likewise, they collapse here on those cyclones. They force a bit of friendly fire. At least they try to. And the low ground expansion is going to go down. Oh, brutal stasis. Not again. The stasis traps have been brutal. But they will take down the expansion. At the same time, they'll run by in towards the third. Tanks are out of position. ZaRDieNT being pulled apart. Base goes down. A couple of SCVs as well. And they're going for bottom left. Yeah, they should be checking. They are aware. And they knock down 2 bases. Against ZaRDieNT, he has a terrifying army, but he's not quite in position, right? He wasn't there. Wasn't there for his team. Wasn't there for DefMars. Likewise, DefMars counter-attacking. Nicely done. Probes going down, forcing a recall. Does force a recall. Army gets away. Oracles are popping off as well. I mean, this is nice damage here, but again, DefMars is down to 2 bases. Nicoract getting a third. He's recovering. After a brutal start, Nicoract, he's bouncing back. Okay, Nicoract, he's back in this game. And again, the big problem here is, of course, ZaRDieNT. This time, ZaRDieNT's got a planetary. He has 5 tanks here at his third. But his army split in half. Even here, we have a bunch of tanks that are a little bit too far back. Yeah, they're dealing with ZaRDieNT just a portion at a time. Catching out 3 tanks. Tanks are going down. Once again, they pull away. They knock down the expansion. As they dive out, oh, they don't quite get another tank. Not quite. But nice trades here from the red team. Again, just picking away at ZaRDieNT's army. Just a couple of tanks at a time. Likewise, DefMars still trying to recover. Trying to build back up. When it comes to our tech, we haven't really gone in any major direction yet. Sure, there's a Robo, there's a Dark Shrine, but it's mainly a gateway heavy composition here from Gerald. He's just mass expanding, taking another base. Likewise, still just Bio here from Nicoract as well. Okay, we don't need to go for disruptors or mass immortal. So far, this more mobile composition is working well. That is a lot of tanks. 5 tanks are in position. Oracle and Hellion run by coming in. Oh my god. That's SDVs are getting roasted. Yeah, a lot of SDVs going down. Nicoract does pull away. That's back, catching out some Zealots, catching out some Archons. Yeah, 1, 2 Archons going down. Even catching a Cyclone, not bad. Second Cyclone as well. Oh, meanwhile, they can collapse him from behind. High Templar are exposed. Storm is ready. Storm is ready. He tries to dive into the mineral line. Now going to be zoned away. A bit of an awkward position here for the red team. Where are we going? What's the plan? Nicoract going for a Doom Drop. There is a ring of turrets, so it's gonna be a risky move here, a risky play. Nicoract, he's not aware of the turrets. There are only 2, so he could still find a way into the bases. And there we go, he does go for the boost. From here he boosts in. He will unload, he will lose 1 medivac. 1, 2, 3 medivac's gonna be, oh god, he's gonna lose all the medivacs. It's a one-way trip, but he does unload, going for the upgrades. At the same time, Gerald does dive in. Oh, gets into the mineral line. Probe's gonna be going down, denies the warp in as well. It's keeping the army distracted. Getting on top of the third base here of DefMars. Third base does go down. At the same time, oh god, storms are popping off, and Nicoract, he's being cleaned up. And Nicoract will lose everything, but he killed the main. He sniped the main base. Likewise, Gerald also sniped the third base of DefMars. Hindering their economy. Kiting back. Kiting back. Oh god, as Gerald, he commits a little bit too hard. He's gonna lose everything. Yeah, there was no control there. Gerald, he was distracted. Losing so many stalkers, too many. That should not have happened. As Gerald, he plummets in supply. ZaRDieNT, he might be able to win this on his own. Mass on siege. He's moving out. Mass on siege. And ZaRDieNT's army is terrifying, larger than any one player individually. Gerald trying to slow this down. Gets a cyclone. Tries to wheel the cyclones. Once again, getting bullied back. Nicoract as well. Coming in from behind, trying to set up a surround. Slowing this army down. Nice blink. Gets one, gets two, gets all three. Gets 3 tanks. Oh, there's still more behind this. Gerald, he's committing to lose all these stalkers. Extensive losses here for Gerald. But they'll say keep the mech army busy at the same time the Protoss here crumbles. Yeah, DefMars here overextends. He fights without his tanks, or without his teammate. But Gerald, he will lose everything. Gerald, he will lose his army. So Rumba here towards top side. Gerald, he has to defend. Does turn back around. Clean this up. Has defensive DTs. Natural race is under fire. Nicoract trying to engage. Rushing through the tank fire. Does barely break through. Takes out all 3 tanks. And they get a surround. Whew, they pull off the surround. They clean up ZaRDieNT. ZaRDieNT, he will lose everything. And behind this, there's not much left. There's not much of an army. Oh, he left his tanks behind. No! There were, what, 4 tanks left behind? I mean, that could have made the difference here. I assumed he unsieged everything. That could have been 4 extra tanks of the main army. Also doesn't help that, again, DefMars, he fought without the support of his without the support of the tanks. Here comes a counterattack. Red team, they defended. They're moving out. What is there left? 6 tanks. We have 3 stalkers. We have a couple of Archons. Void Ray does overextend. Hellion run by being an annoyance. As DefMars does push in. Storm does zone. Breaks through the tanks. Not bad. DefMars is holding. He's holding on. ZaRDieNT coming in from behind as well. They're holding onto their bases at the same time. Still more ZaRDieNT, more counterattacks. Forcing back the red team, but they start the economy. Like they've just mass expanded here. Plenty of bases for Gerald, likewise plenty of bases for Nicoract as well. They can both rebuild. I can't really say the same here for ZaRDieNT and DefMars. Just now expanding. From here, they're stuck at home. Nicoract and Gerald are just building up. This one, I would say that it would be safe to tech and start taking into a more like liberated heavy composition from Nicoract, or even Skytels from Gerald. But regardless, at least still being active. They're still being active. They do deny the expansion. The Nexus pulls away. Gerald can't quite help out. Rotating over. Just trying to keep up. So the Hellion might continue. But what matters here is the fact that they just can't expand. Like neither ZaRDieNT nor DefMars can take another base. They're being denied time and time again. They're just being contained. It's still a hefty army that they're working with Archon, Storm, and tanks. But Nicoract and Gerald should be the first to max, which is also why I feel like they should be taking up at least a little bit. I know that Gerald has his fleet beacon and he's getting a mothership, but work towards 10% carriers would be ideal. Likewise, our blue team trying to break out. I say try, they do. They're committing. Likewise, at the same time, Nicoract heals the mill going for a Doom Drop. His army's not at home. Gerald trying to make a stand. Does kite back. Planetary is going to go down. Again, slow and steady here for Gerald. Meanwhile, massive drop into the main base, into production. We'll delay reinforcements, but can we deal with all these tanks? There are just so many of them. The mothership has arrived. Does go for Cloak. Oh, that's going to be what? 11 tanks sieging. Jesus. Yeah, 18 tanks in total here for ZaRDieNT. It's a lot of tanks. GG takes on a mineral line. But Nicoract setting up for the surround. Mass on siege. Oh. Okay, does on siege half the army. He stems in. And we come in for the surround. Tanks are falling one after the other. Zealots collapse on the army as well. And the tanks are exposed. They're completely exposed. They're going to go down. That's going to be 18 tanks falling. And that's it. That's the army. There's almost nothing left. There's one Archon. There's a handful of units. There's the one DT top right. And sure, they killed 2 bases. They got down the Planetary and the CC. But that was all they had. That was all they, and this time there was nothing left at home. Okay, that was their one final push from blue team. GG gets called. There's nothing left to defend. And with that, Nicoract and Gerald, they will take game number 1. Whew, GG. Hi. GG. Well played. A very intense game number one. Again, it was very back and forth. Honestly, it was a really rough start for Nicoract and Gerald. Remember, the game started with Nicoract losing his natural and being stuck on one base and barely being able to support his teammates, barely being able to support Gerald. Likewise, saw the Doom drop from Nicoract into the main base as well, which didn't really accomplish too much, but they slowly recovered. They were able to mass expand, take some better fights together, surrounding the army, more importantly, catching ZaRDieNT out of position. If you remember early on, ZaRDieNT, he was heavily fortified at his third base, and they could not touch the third base of ZaRDieNT. So they're like, you know what? Let's just rotate. And they killed the third and the fourth base of DefMars. And DefMars, he never took a fourth. From that moment, he was never able to regain his fourth base, and he had a hard time even retaking his third as well. They were able to focus and then cripple DefMars, and ZaRDieNT on his own was not enough. He was not enough to recover from that, and Nicoract got himself back into the game. He was able to get back in. GG, well played with that. Gerald and Nicoract, they take a lead in the series, and now we're getting into game number 2. Game 2 is going to be on Yellow Jacket. Oh boy. Oh my god. And we actually have a race change here. Okay. I'm ready. I'm excited. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Yellow Jacket, we have our red team. We have the Terran and Protoss duo leading the series 1-0. It is Nicoract and Gerald. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue team. We have a new duo here. At one point was Terran and Protoss, now is Terran and Zerg. We have ZaRDieNT and DefMars. As DefMars, he's a main Protoss, but he has switched to Zerg for game 2. Curious. Now, I feel like typically if we see a race switch like this, are we going for an all-in? I mean, I said hatch first. Okay, hatch first here out of DefMars. I'm curious what the plan is. Like, again, usually if we're going to be race switching mid-series away from your main base, it has to be for a reason, has to be for a specific build, I would imagine. So far, hatch gas pool, ping just reveals that it was an earlier hatchery, so standard opener out of DefMars. But we'll see where this leads us, because I'm not convinced that he wants to play a standard game. I'm not convinced yet, Pappy, not convinced. Meanwhile, double gas here out of ZaRDieNT, double gas into a faster factory, into a delayed CC. Show us what you got. As Gerald's being as annoying as possible. Does force a couple of boys to be pulled. At the same time, double gas opener out of Nicoract, going for the same opener as his opponent. Both players are opening a Reaper into faster factories. Meanwhile, standard opener. Oh, I'll say a bit of a greedier build here by Gerald, going gate expand into a delayed cybercore. Now, there are high chances here that ZaRDieNT's going to go into mech again. Again, ZaRDieNT, he's known for mech even in 1v1, even in StarCraft Evolution. It's kind of his go-to. ZaRDieNT, he does offer his Protoss every now and then, true. But mech is what he's known for. Our players are expanding. Yep, speaking of, no surprises here, second factory. Actually, I say no surprises. What is a surprise? That's a second factory before expand. No CC, one base all in here out of our Terran, out of ZaRDieNT. Ay. Very committed. And we're just gonna Link Flood. We're mining gas. We have 3 in gas here, so we could go for Drop a Lord play. We can go into a fast lair, into Drop a Lords, of course. We can go into a Bailey Nest. Curious here. How are we going to support the Terran? What's the plan? Is there a plan? Do we? He's going for a third. Never mind. He's going for a third. There's no tech. We're just going to get a lair and drone. Remember, like, again, ZaRDieNT's all in. Okay. Behind this, Nicoract going for, again, his later expansion. Bunker is on the way for safety. Hellion Reaper's moving out. And it's a Link Flood. Okay. I'm a little bit perplexed just because you can see it here. DefMars, he has 160 gas. That could have been minerals. That could have been more Zerglings. Could have been more Zerglings, a faster third base, another queen. But it isn't all in. So it's going to be just straight up all in here from the blue team. Nice around here, catching the Reapers. Yeah, Reapers are caught out. Hellion as well. And again, DefMars, he's just Link Flooding. And of course, we have just Mass Mech here, or just a Hellion Rush and Cyclone Rush out of the Terran. So it's all or nothing. A little bit inefficient because of the gases. And we'll see if Gerald Nicoract can do. Oh my god! they can defend. They pop up with a stasis, and with that, there are no Zerglings. There are no Zerglings left. With that, they're gonna hold. They're gonna shut this down, at least initially. More shield batteries on the way. The Lings, they do nothing. We have 18 more Lings on the way. Stasis is about to run out. True. Stasis is running out. But the Oracle's in a nice position. Void Ray has arrived as well. The boys are pulled to defend. And the Zerglings, they haven't gotten much done. Diving on the Cyclones. Gets one, gets two. 2 Cyclones go down. Can we get the final Cyclone? Looks like we can. It's going to be close. Oh my god. Barely does pull away. But so far, the defense has been solid. Nice use of the shield batteries. Lings are cleaned up. Down to only 2 Cyclones. Again, these Cyclones, you have to build them up over time. Oh my god, brutal pickoff. Catching another Cyclone. Only 1 survives. We're running out of Zerglings. The longer this goes on, the worse it is for the blue team. He's still mining gas. What happened? he's got almost 300 gas. It's crazy. And it looks like he's realized that he's getting an Evo chamber. He needs to spend his gas in some way. But this feels so late in regards to the Evo chamber, I mean. Tank is exposed. He dives on the tank. And tank is going to go down. Repair is not in time. Lings are going to surround on the bunker as well. Okay. Nice cleanup. Takes out the tanks, takes out the bunker. Behind this, no blink. Stalkers are getting surrounded. Half of the Oracles, they will support. They will defend. Again, shield barriers, they work overtime. They maintain those Oracles. 1 Oracle goes down. Gets 1. Gets 1 Oracle. Banshees have arrived. Yeah, going for a 3-1-1 setup into Cloak Banshee, or into regular Banshee, I should say. Into Cloak. Into Cloak. And this is brutal because, remember, only 1 orbital. There's no scans. There's no scans here because this was a 1 base all in. The natural base is so delayed here and there's no extra scan available. And GG. GG gets called. There's nothing for the Banshees. And with that, Nicoract and Gerald, they will survive the all in and claim the series 2-0. GG. Oh, GG, well played. A solid defense there from Gerald Nicoract. Again, as we had assumed with DefMars switching to Zerg, it was most likely for an all-in of some kind. It was a little bit inefficient, unfortunately, just because, again, he was mining excess gas instead of minerals, which could have made for, again, a faster base, another queen, more lings, or if we were to use that gas earlier Eva chamber into plus on melee into some kind of upgrade or some kind of use for that gas. So a little bit shaky there when it came to the execution, but also it was just brutal that he just ran face first into a stasis. That was just a really rough start to the all-in. If you remember, winding it back, when they committed across the map, almost all the Zerglings were caught in the stasis, and they just could not support the army, couldn't support the all-in. And again, every second counts when you're going for an all-in like this. You have to get damage as quickly as possible, as soon as possible, and alas, Nicoract and Gerald had plenty of time. Had plenty of time to defend, to hold on. GG, well played. With that, they will claim the series. And now we're getting ready here for the finals. Let's go.